Place. Place. Come on. Sit. Ah. Sit. Sit. Oh, sit. Jersey. Sit. Good girl. Stay. Jersey. Bow. Playtime. Rachel. Arr. Arr. All right. Jersey. Place. Place. Down. Good job. Hello, everybody. What's going on? Welcome to the channel. My name's Alckemy. We're gonna get started in just a second. I'm just kind of prepping Doggo to try to get comfortable with the stream. She's a little bit antsy. That being said, she's doing really well. She knows lots of commands, lots of stuff that I'm really, really proud of her for. So, oh, is she gonna figure out how to open the door? Yeah, I don't quite trust her yet to let her roam the house, so she's gonna have to be stuck in here with me. So please be patient with all the stuff of navigating this. But with that being said, she is so far doing amazing. She knows how to sit, lie down. She knows how to shake. No, no. She responds pretty well to no. The only thing is that she doesn't like other dogs. And when she gets fixated on stuff, she loses her focus to listen. So, but when she's on me, when I have her attention, she does extremely well. No. No. Good girl. Yeah. So she does really well with no and all that. Hey, come on. Jersey. No. Place. Good girl. Ah, place. She also knows place. She also knows kennel. She knows lots of stuff. Sorry, I'm trying to walk and chew bubblegum and share with the stream that I'm live while working with her on stuff. Over here. She wants to be on my lap, and she cannot be on my lap right now. Yeah. How's everybody doing? What's going on? How's life? And I appreciate your patience. This is going to be an adjustment period while I'm working with her on stuff. So, Jersey, go lay down. Come on, go lay down. You could chill for a bit. I might give her, I don't know, I don't want to spoil her every day, but I might give her a frozen Kong toy. That way she can have something to do for a little bit, but we'll see. I just don't want her to freak out. If it needs to be, then I can put her in the kennel as well. But yeah, I just don't want her to. She's only gone in the house once, and that's when we moved her kennel. But I also don't want her to get bored and start getting into other stuff. But she's being the sweetest right now, and she's saying, "You don't have to work today. You just need to You just need to pet me all day. Yeah, right, baby. All right. So, do we have any quick play spells today? Yeah, we do. We have one. So let's go ahead and get through that, and then we will proceed to figuring out what we want to do today. Which I have a question for you. What do you all want to do today? Let's go ahead and play this. Good girl. Nice. Yeah, if you all want to submit to everyday quick play spells, join the Discord, and they're 15-second little blurbs that you can, write in 15 minutes if you needed to, and submit them. And if we have one, I'll play them the next time I start the stream. So other than that, let's go ahead and hop into the DAW. I recorded a thing yesterday for Superior Drummer, which actually was not supposed to be out until the end of the month, but YouTube has a really annoying scheduling thing. No, I want to do something a little bit different than drum and bass. I kind of want to, I don't know, I might even just do like ambient stuff and atmospheres today because I'm wanting to work on just trying to get different, I don't know, different vibes, I guess. You only see a YouTube page? Okay, I might need to refresh. Yeah, okay, thanks. There we go. And let me make this a little bit smaller. She's over by the door, but she'll be back. Her bone is right there, and she loves her bone, which she just got today. All right. So, let's see. What do I want to do? Let's open up Faceplant, and I'm gonna do a couple of things here. I'm gonna grab a random, and we are going to set this just a little bit to the master pitch, kind of like so. There we go. Let's grab a analog or wavetable, and we are going to then we'll grab another random, set that to 0, set that here, and then every time this triggers, actually what I think I want to do is a wavetable. And then we'll apply that here. We'll add some release. Do another one here where we can randomize this. Grab one of these guys. Shaper table. Then we can start playing with some convolution reverb. Preferably stuff that's really big. I need to get some more impulses. That's interesting. Never heard that before. Now I'm kind of curious, does Serum have access to the samples that are caked or built within the convolution? Because it would be nice to be able to just pull from that Hey, Contem, what's up? And then we can also do another one here where we can add this, but maybe at a quieter level. We can also add just a little bit of noise to this. Just a tad. There we go. Then we can do some fuse compressor. Some over. Make this a little bit louder. And then we can turn on the Oxy 1. And start a new thing here. Harmonic, pentatonic. Go Phrygian. Let's go with E2. Let's create a sequence, and then let's make this sequence a little bit slower. And then we'll hit play and see what that does. So this is just a starting point for now. And then what we can do is start to slowly build off of this. That's kind of cool. That's pretty cool. So what we can do now is kind of just mess with this and see if we can create something else out of it. Wow, that was sick. Crazy. I'm probably gonna save this. It's kind of what that reminds me of. Is like, I don't know, like ghostly kids or something just whispering from The Grudge or something. Seeing note sizes in Bitwig? Yeah. You mean like the grid changing like this? Yeah, just set this to adaptive. Yeah, set it to adaptive and then it'll adjust with you. Ooh. I like that. I'm stuck at work stream, bro. That's all good. That was pretty cool. Not really going anything. I'm not really going for anything specific here. I'm just kind of messing about. sick. Putting in overtime come Friday, they're going to ask if you want to leave at lunch. Oh, man. Are they like trying to skimp your hours or? Go back to this and see what happens if we put this on these. Something like that. They've done it before, and sometimes you agree, but not this time. You're already 10 hours overtime of the rest of the week is a normal week. Yeah, I hear the job market is, or like conventional jobs are kind of rough right now, especially if you had a government job. Like a lot of people that I know personally had their stuff cut. Or were just outright fired or let go. Wild. Yeah. That's pretty cool too. This is cool. She's in the cam. You can't see her? She's taking a nap. Hey, Aaron. Hey, what's up? So her first night, um, she had a tiny accident. We moved her kennel in to the bedroom so that way, like, where we covered her up and made a den for her, she would know that we were there with her. But she thought that she was going back to the shelter, and so she marked where the kennel was. But other than that, when we put her in, she whined for like 5 minutes, and then she just went to sleep. And then last night, I fell asleep, and she just laid with me the whole time. And then I fell asleep again this morning. She laid not with me, but on the couch, and no accidents so far, which is the big thing. But I'm working on a lot of active training with her. So I'm trying to desensitize her to other dogs barking, which she responded really well to. So what I did was I just put on like an hour long of, aggressive dogs barking and had her lay down in front of me. And I just kept feeding her like small amounts of kibble. But she did really well. And then I'm working with her on how to not pull on the leash, which is going to take some time. I don't expect it to be like a day one thing, but she's learning. Yeah, yeah. She's already an amazing dog. Like she knows how to sit, stay. She knows how to shake. She knows if I say PLACE, she knows where that is. If I say KENNEL, she knows what that means. And she hasn't been like she's not a trauma dog, which is a first for me because every other dog that I've ever been around or have adopted for the most part, well, I mean, that's not true. Most dogs that I've lived with, though, in the past have been trauma dogs, and they've been a lot of work. And she's a lot of work, but in her own way. I'm trying to get her to speak, but she is so quiet. And the only time that she barks is if something goes on outside to where she's like, what the fuck is going on? But the reason why I'm trying to teach her to speak is so that way I can teach her what quiet means. And yeah, it's just a process, and I'm learning too. Like I've taught in dogs, I've taught dogs like small amounts of tricks, but with her and the kind of behavior that I'm trying to bring out of her, because she's already an amazing dog, is only going to get better. But as long as she doesn't pee in the house and she doesn't chew on stuff, and that's kind of my thing is trying to keep her from being bored, or have anxiety, and that's the other thing that we're gonna have to kind of check out is if she does good with being by herself because when I go to the gym and all that, right, I'm going to leave. So that's kind of those factors and considerations whenever I go in. But I don't know. I might go to the gym tomorrow just to see how she does for a few hours. But I'm very proud of her. And like she chose us. As soon as I walked in the door and or like walked into her kennel and spent some time with her, she just kind of jumped on me and stared deeply into my eyes and was like, "Dude, I am for you." And we it was kind of that between a German Shepherd mix and her, and Corey was like, "Let's take Jersey." So yeah, let's see if oh, big stretch, good girl, good girl. Where's your bone? But yeah, so we're just working on stuff with her and trying to help her relax and help her be comfortable and kind of teach her the rules of the house. I say rules. We don't have much. We just don't want her to, eat shit and get into things that she's not supposed to and all that. But we haven't had a problem so far. Jimmy says hi, baby. Jimmy says hi. When am I going to teach her halftime? Well, I'm trying to like integrate the sounds and stuff really slow because I don't want to scare her. And she's not super reactive, but I don't want her to ever become reactive. And so whenever I'm working on stuff and all that, I'm just kind of taking my time and, you know, pacing it out. Good girl. Yeah. So we're just working on it. Oh, say hello. There we go. There's your bone. Where's your bone? Hold on one sec. Oh, she's dope. Where's your bone? Where's your bone? What's this? What's this? Be right back. I'm gonna get her a snack. Let's see how good you do. Come over here. Jersey, sit. Stay. Good job. Stay. Come back. Sit. Over here. Place. Jersey. That's fine too. If she takes the bone, that's okay too. Sit. Jersey, sit. She listens so well. Sit. Down. Shake. Good girl. Stay. 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 Ah, nope. Down. Down. Sit. All right. Come on. Place. Sit. Shake. Shake. Good girl. Down. Stay. 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 Okay. Good girl. So that's a frozen Kong, and it has a little bit of kibble in it, a little bit of peanut butter that's frozen, so that should keep her busy for a little bit. But she's pretty adorable. Yeah, so regarding what we were doing, also maybe leave a TV on when I'm out so she doesn't hear all the outside noises and freak. Yeah, that's probably what we'll do. That's a really good point. Um and we're trying to like we only have one kennel, and so I want her to like the kennel, and she does, and so I feed her treats in there, and we work on tricks in there and stuff. But I just am trying to make sure that she's not bored and that she feels safe. So we'll leave a light on, probably like a night light or a colored light or something. Yeah, probably the night light. Or maybe what I'll do is create a pattern with the light that we have in there, because it can do like flashing and stuff. So that way it kind of moves, and that way she doesn't feel like it's just dark. But yeah, I thought about repositioning the kennel to where she can stare out the window, but that's when she barks the most and gets the most riled up. So that might not be the best idea. Look at that shot. She's all into it. Just trying to add a little bit of harmony to this. Yeah, this is nice. Hey, Artifacts, what's up? That's kind of the same thing that I'm doing here, but more so with the sequence than... More so with a sequence than a piano improv, but yeah, that's kind of something that I've been trying to get into more of lately, is just jamming. Yeah, like kind of vibes, like song starters almost. Not song starters, but just things that you can kind of hop into and like help put you in a mood. Yeah, that's kind of, I've been, a lot of people that I know, myself included, have kind of been trying to do that. And rather than like me starting a new track, I've been trying to dive into this kind of stuff to just find something interesting without having to be like, oh, I need to start a track. Yeah, I feel that. Should load a drum resampling today. Need some more organic drum bits for this thing I'm working on. Have you... Do you fuck with much physical modeling? Because that's how I make a lot of percussion. From like... Well, from like nothing, I guess. Not that much, although you could Corpus and Ableton physical modeling based sometimes. Also, it's not, what is it? I think it's called collision. That's a really easy way to get like some really cool stuff. But if you basically kind of take an impulse of a click and then you start to process that with comb filters and short, tiny reverbs, you're basically making collision. But that's something that I do, is like make these racks that you can make percussion out of anything. But kind of to simply demonstrate what that means, any of these will do. But what you need to do is make a really short envelope for the gain, to where you're creating just a transient, and it doesn't matter what the source is. Like it matters, but it doesn't. And the means of it doesn't matter because the click is going to sound different, but that's the first piece that you want to get to. But if you turn this on, you just listen to this. Like right now, this is alternating between claps and but when you start to change this other stuff of like taking the impulse, now we're just starting to get into that territory of those weird clicks and stuff. Yeah, there's lots of different ways to do it for sure. But this is one way that you can kind of start to... You just need to work with this to set it beyond the threshold to make sure that it triggers. But yeah, so some of these other things, like sometimes I'll make stuff that's just dedicated to the entire thing. It's like whatever. Sequences. Let me see. Percussions. Game on. Templates. Did I not create any percussion on this? So something like this can sometimes be super easy. Let me try a different one. I love when I'm trying to like be like, hey, this is something to try, and then it doesn't work. But here we go. So just some FM and stuff, you can get some pretty interesting stuff kind of like that. This will sometimes create kicks and snares. Yeah. But essentially what you're trying to do is just create little short hits and bits that have a little bit of white noise on top, and then that will... You can create lots of really cool shit out of this. Think about mixing in breaks as a layer on top of slower beats. I want to learn how to make my own and chop them up with MIDI and granularize them in the sampler of Bitwig. I mean, did you see the video that I just put out this morning? Maybe. 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 Artifacts also has a lot of like drum videos. They're a lot older, but he uses addictive drums in a lot of those videos and stuff. I said, babe. Hey, hey, out. I don't want you under there. Well, now you're stuck. Now what are you gonna do? Come on, go. Oh, good job. Hey, over here. Over here. Oh, there you go. You don't have to have superior drummer, but it's just a way to kind of be like, all right. And this video is focused on like cleanliness, so like clean breaks, where a lot of the stuff that I do, like in the, like if I'm gonna make a heavier track or whatever, no, then I'll do like I'll process it in a much different way. But if you can get just the drums like on a clean level to where they have a good transient and they're nice and tight, then you can change them into anything. But I mean, I made these drums in Superior Drummer. I made the taikos and stuff in Superior Drummer as well. Yeah, so, you know, you can make anything in here, really. It's just kind of a matter of trying to figure out what... I'm distracted by the dog, I'm sorry. You can substitute Superior Drummer with just a bunch of live recorded drum loops you found online. Yeah, because it's about the processing chain, not even so much as about the actual drum breaks and stuff themselves. But yeah. Hey, baby. You being good? You bored? You bored? What time did I let her out? A couple hours ago. She's all right. Can you come lay down for me? Place. Place. She's smelling my hand. She's like, what you got for me? What do you have for me? So, yeah. But check that video out. And, hey, Danny, what's up? And then you can kind of do that. But for me, like, even before starting a track... Wait, what? You uploaded earlier? Yeah. Sequence my own beats. So for me, it's just figuring out the workflow for resampling, mangling, using the sampler, MIDI for crazier beats. I mean, if you already make your own stuff, then you just make your own stuff again, you know? Like you just, I think it sounds like you're overthinking it. Because if you know how to do the basics, then you know how to do whatever, you know, they're just drums is what Nolan used to say. I'm guessing that you're probably looking for something hyper specific, but like, uh, I don't know, like one really easy example is, let me find a break. Individual samples from your DFAM. I don't know what that is, but even still, it shouldn't change much.
Break it down.
Right. So let's say you even take this. Let's say like I want to use this and change this into something completely different. Oh, gotcha. Yeah. So you're like, hey, I want to implement this within a track, but I don't want it to sound like the original source. You can do something really small like a gate. And then now that you have something like this, you can do really cool stuff with it. So you can be like, you can also do stuff like this. We add a vocoder. You know, that's just like one example that you can use to make like really tight shuffles with anything. Or you can kind of go the opposite way and be like, all right, let's just focus on the repitching. But you can still import the gate. Oh man, they're like my favorite. But when it comes into like using stuff as experimentation and all that, like that's where you should kind of like free up, oh, what is it's supposed to be this or that, you know? Because like a lot of times part of my workflow that's a staple is resampling my drums to get other textures. But what you're wanting to get is just other textures. You know what I mean? And so, you know, something that I do a lot of is we'll go filter plus, convolution. Sorry, convolution, filter plus, low pass, OTT, long attack, long release. Usually I'll do this like ×3. Throw the gate on here. Once I have something like this that I'm happy with, then we can get into the other stuff. Like we can go disk tube. And then we can do other things like a delay. I like delay plus, so you can start doing shit like this. Yeah, like that's what I'm saying. Is like you already know it. Best thing I like from Ableton vocoder for drums is it has the formant shift, which works really nice. Yeah, and even the noise, right? Even the noise. But yeah, and so once you have something like this and you have all these textures and stuff, well, then you just go back and you just put them under your original drums. So if I have like a kick, I might have to pull one of mine up, but yeah, these just aren't hitting hard enough. You know, so something like this. I'm gonna go insert snare. So something kind of like that, and then we can take what we did here and just put this under here kind of like this. Sorry, just trying to create a very simple. Then move this over, take this and put this in repitch mode. You didn't have to donate to say that, but you know, you can kind of just get little cool textures and stuff like that, and then remember that you can always continue to like you don't have to use the whole phrase. But you can do just cool shit like that, you know. Or you can find something that's rhythmic, kind of like this. Then you're like, oh, well, it's cool, but, you know, we need to make it more. You get what I mean? Yeah, she's a little uneasy because I shut the door, but she's doing good so far. You know, and then once you have something like this, you can kind of get into the offsetting of things like this, and you need to remember to stay flexible. That's the whole point. Ah, thank you. You did not have to do that, but I will. That $10 will go to her. 100%. $7 because YouTube takes 30. But thank you so much for the donation. I'll be sure to spoil her with that donation. Oh my gosh, guys, thank you. I really appreciate that. You didn't need to do that. Yet still, it's too hard to imitate a piano in Vital by myself. Imitating a piano is kind of complicated because you really need comb filters and things that are going to act as resonators. The tools that some people have remade within Serum 2, like part of the reason why they've been able to do it is because they have certain things that can recreate that. You know what I mean? But yeah, with a combination of FM and like certain filter resonances and whatnot, the thing about Vital is you need to go outside of Vital in order to accomplish that, like a realistic quote unquote piano sound. But yeah, when it comes into like resampling drums and stuff, like this is what I do on everything. So that the 7th harmonic is a piano and that turned out to be false. What? No, dude. Like, no. Hold on. How much about sound design? Let me ask you this, like, and I mean this in the most respectful way, okay? But how much about sound design do you know of? Because that's gonna help me, like, that's gonna help me give you a helpful answer. Okay. Take the expectation of using Vital for acoustic instruments completely out, because it's not going to happen. Vital is by nature a subtractive and FM synth, and while you might be able to make something like Rhodes or whatever, there's too much nuance to actually recreate a piano sound. Now you can create keys, you can create stuff that, you know, is still like you can replace with that, but the thing is that Vital just does not have the tools to physically model, which is the key term here, to physically model something that sounds like a piano. Does that make sense? And so when we talk about physical modeling, there are things that will make a sound become realistic. And the problem with the reason why physical modeling is so important is because, let me see if I can pull up a diagram or something. Modeling diagram, images, let me see. Physical modeling, sound design. Let me see if this has anything of what we're looking for here. I can always draw one, but position slider, invert button. Give me 1 second, don't leave yet. Suspension, pickups. Okay, so this is for like amps and guitars and stuff. So, all right, generally speaking, within physical modeling, you have three major things. You have an exciter, which is the thing that is hitting something. You have a membrane, which is the material that's being hit. And then you have a resonance, and that's the air or the space that that thing is being hit in. Does that kind of make sense? We talk about this a lot with snares and stuff. But within physical modeling, the thing that you have to have is these weird combs and these weird resonances in order to create a transient that is being hit that shapes itself into space. With a piano, you all might not have known this, but the piano is actually in some cases considered to be a percussive instrument and also a string instrument, because it has an exciter and it has tension, which is strings. So tension can be replaced with a membrane, can be replaced with some other stuff. Right. So generally speaking, when we talk about, I'm not going to recreate a piano here, but I'm just going to show you an example of this. But if we go into something like Faceplant and we have a pure sine wave, maybe what they were saying with whatever video you watched is that these two in combination can be your exciter, right? Kind of like that. Maybe a little bit of white noise. But the thing that Vital does not have, yeah, it'd be really complex to remake, is, hold on, let me add just a little bit of reverb to this to help facilitate what I'm going to be talking about. It's something like this. Let's just use the filter table because it's going to be easier. But you need something that has really complicated and evolving resonances, kind of like so. Because whenever you shape this, you are sending this impulse or this exciter into the resonator that is going to create some of those timbres. If you're on FL Studio, I think it's called Sakura. That's actually a really cool guitar and string type physical modeler. If you're in Ableton, there is the tension. And if you can make short and plucky sounds and send that into a reverb, then you're going to be getting a little bit closer. On Reaper, the next best thing would be to download decent sampler, and Venus Theory has a lot of free piano type stuff that you can download. But within this, if we kind of create just a little bit here, you see how this already starts to sound like it could actually exist in a real space? Yeah, that's another really good one too, Spitfire Labs. So we can add some compression to this. Short attack, short release. But this is how physical modeling works. But the thing is that like Artifacts was saying, in order to actually create a piano, you need a lot of shit. And you need to be like very precise with how you evoke certain things out of this. That being said, and with this combination of stuff, you know, you can create some other really cool things, and you can do some aspect of physical modeling within Vital, but take the expectation of being like, I'm going to change a virtual analog synth into, you know, a 1-for-1 piano, and instead focus on what its strengths are. But if we do some key tracking with this now on the cutoff, and we set this to C1, sounds a bit bigger and dry. Yeah, I think like East and West and the native instruments are probably the best stuff, but they can be a little pricey. And so I'm going to pull this down just a little bit more, turn the ratio up because it can get kind of shrieky here. But one thing that you can do is add just a subtle amount of randomization to this based off of the trigger point. So that way you never hit the same sound twice. Hey, what's up, bro? And then now that you have something like this, it sounds a lot more realistic, right? And then if you want to make it have other timbres, then you can take this and do other sources of FM to these here. But you can set this to actually be inharmonic. So that way it'll become more like a bell. And that's why when most people do physical modeling, they make it more into a bell sound. But do you see how it's kind of dingy? Let's make this a little bit louder now. What's up, Spice the Chef? How you doing? Someone that took a sample of someone singing into a spectral mode, one section isolated, showed that you can high pass and low pass out the filter frequencies. Yes, you can do that. Were you wanting to see that, or what are you having for dinner? That needs to resonate when it's practically impossible. Yeah. I mean, most likely your best bet would be to just sample a piano and then, you know, to make something sound real. Not necessarily, but you kind of just have to be really clever, because the other thing too is that now that we kind of have like the timbre of this, if we put this in an actual space, like an art museum or, you know, whatever, then that's another step closer into making it sound like it's real. And then if we add the dynamics with the velocity and all that other stuff, right? So we can set this here, and set this to 100, set this to 60. I don't even have something that I can play with the dynamics with, but this would be something that you can. True. Just some chicken nuggets and onion rings. Bought them as bulk 2 weeks ago, so I got to go through it. Dude, chicken nuggets sound amazing. And Corey is like obsessed with dino nuggies. So, yeah. You can also do some AM modulation on this, where you apply this. There we go, 19 semitones. But that's pretty much like as close as you're going to get when it comes into physical modeling stuff. I can do snares like that. I can physical model snares pretty well, but actual instruments, um, is a little bit trickier. You can also do flutes, I will say. So if we have something kind of like this, and we take the same trick, but this time I'll go into slice EQ. Chef, you used to be in band, right? I'm trying to remember. What did you play? Chef and I went to high school together. So that's why I'm always like, yo, what's up? Because I haven't seen him in years. There's so much nuance in piano, it would be theoretically, it would, it wouldn't, it would be theoretically be possible. It would theoretically be possible, but it would take so freaking long. Yeah. So if we do something like this with really high peaks and really high notches like this. Trumpet. Still familiar with sheet music and note placements? Sick. Do you have a trumpet? Or yeah. So with this, if we send a flute through here and we key track this, but then double up on it, so we go C3, then this is another way that you can make, what's it called? This is another way that you can make like a realistic sound as an instrument. Sorry. So if we kind of just back off of that just a little bit and then create some reverb. And one thing that I will do is I'm going to grab a C on here. So I'm looking at this right here where this says C4. C4. And I'm going to make this the highest resonance point, and everything else is going to be a little bit lower, because what this will do is this will actually tune this. There we go. Yeah, something like a pan flute. And so I'll delete this one and then keep this one here. And then now that C is going to be key tracked. So it's a little bit more, we're really pulling out this resonance here. If you go poly, then you can create chords with them, although flutes don't create chords, but you can do it. Maybe one more. And you can just create some really sick instruments like that. Dude, do you have an air fryer? Oh my gosh, man. I have made some incredible shit with an air fryer. Anybody else have an air fryer? Fucking air fryers are a godsend. Then if you want to add just a small amount of tonality to it, you can add a really quiet sine wave. Yeah, that sounds nice. Your air fryer ran out of propane? Love mine ran out of propane, made steak tips in the air fryer. Oh yeah. Interesting. So she barks when she hears other people talking. Focus, 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 focus. Hey, on me, on me. There you go. I got you. I got you. Good girl. Yeah, we're working on that desensitization training, but you know, she's still new to the household, so need to get me one of those double air fryer ones. Yeah, Corey got me that for the holiday, and yeah, she reaps the benefit of it as well, I will say. But yeah, that's kind of how you can also create a cool little flute. If we turn this down, then that's one way that you can kind of implement both. We can grab a multipass here, and we can do a couple of OTTs. So we're pulling up the high end on this quite a bit right here. So if we just back off of that on this one as well. Now we're starting to get in kind of that DX, you know. And then if you do start to add some other harmonics in here at a lower rate and then maybe spread them out. Kind of like so. Then you can just create just more nuance and more timbral things. It's a really good way to create pads. That's nice. So I want to see what this sounds like if we run that through that sequencer that I've got going on here. That was cool. It was sharp, though. Let's see if we can use some of mine. take out some of that harsh resonance right there. Oops. Boy, sorry. Maybe we can change the stuff here to try to give this a little bit of a different reverb. But yeah, this is nice. So we can kind of use a lot of that stuff to, again, kind of go into moving it into a pad or something. What was this at? This is an E. Go E2. Oh man, this reminds me of Tunic. Have any of you played Tunic before? That game is so dope. It has such good music. Yeah, that's nice. So we can do other stuff with this, like, yeah. Um, I should play it on stream sometime, but it's like it's like a top-down Zelda, but you play as a little fox, but the music is very synthy and kind of like it plays on synthy and ambient at the same time, but just the vibes of it are awesome. But it's kind of cool because it is semi-open world to where you can kind of go wherever you want for the most part. But yeah, it's got like super saturated colors and just like I said, just an amazing soundtrack. Yeah, I love it. It's a great game. It's an indie game, but it's still pretty phenomenal. Do I know them old DSi things that gave you mods or cheat codes? You're talking about Game Genie? Yeah, this is nice. You know, she had like a wait. You know, just some old school shit like that. That'd be pretty cool. Does anybody have any production questions or anything else that you want me to cover or take a look at? I don't know how we got on this thing of. Actually, I want to save these patches as well. Save. PN NO. Oh, now we're in Dark Souls territory. I like it. Just saw the launch trailer for Tunic. Does it have chill ambient music with Zelda-like gameplay? Yeah, yeah. It does have that chill ambient music. It has a couple of tracks that are a little bit higher upbeat, but it just... Yeah, man. It's such an enjoyable thing. Something like that, you'd have this thing that you put the game into, and then you put both the game and the thing into the card into the DS. Yeah, that's a Game Genie, or it's Game Genie, Game Shark. There's another one too, but I can't remember what it's called. Rough Hack and Slash with synth style music. Was it that the one that was like bosses only? Just jumped in, but do you master yourself or use a fancy dancy AI? No, I never use AI. Except for maybe like sample sorting. Maybe I meant mixing. No, it's fine. No, I do my own stuff, but I wouldn't be the person to talk to about mixing and all that. I can tell you or teach you how to make stuff really loud, but from a matter of like, I don't make really clean music. Like a lot of my stuff is very dirty and like just really heavy. Like I'm the guy you would come to if you want shit like this. You know, that's my kind of shit. I don't know, but you're like some samurai guy. Yeah, with the white hair. I think that's like a boss rush type of game, if I'm not mistaken. I've seen it, but I haven't played it. But yeah. Oh, here's this other stuff that I was looking at. A roar sound. Overproduction is a curse. It can be, but it depends. Depends on what you're trying to do, you know? If you want to overproduce, then make hyperpop. I don't need to save this one. This one's super basic. It has been a while since I've done bass design, but I'm not really too worried about that. I've kind of just been like trying to just make stuff that is somewhat interesting. Or have these like vibes or whatever that I can throw together. Oops. Initial preset. Let's go sine wave. Let's go here, FM. Mod source, note, random. The old Transformers DS game, Autobot Story Mode, was one of my favorite games ever, but the music was dope and it had a little bit crushed Nintendo sound from being on the first. Yeah, the DS had like just ass speakers. but I've very fondly remember quite a few games on the DS that I absolutely adore, like the Castlevania games, you know, are such a staple. You know what's crazy is I actually have all that, and I don't like to talk about emulators much, but Citra, a version of Citra exists on the iPad, and so guess who's having a heyday with 3DS games again? Yeah, boy. Yeah, boy. I'm just kidding. Um, but it's been super cool. Yeah. Yes. Yeah. You can actually get DS games on your iPhone slash iPad. You just download Delta Simulator, or Delta Emulator, rather. I've enjoyed revisiting retro games with modern day audio, like peering back into the past or something. We need a new Castlevania game, not gonna lie. Yeah, I totally agree. Bloodstain was pretty good. Did you play Bloodstain? What am I doing? What am I doing? Fucking hate that song. What am I doing? Oh, you haven't finished Hollow Knight? Dude, you should totally finish Hollow Knight. There was another Metroidvania game that I played not too long ago that I was like, oh shit, this is incredible. Oh, have you played through Blasphemous 1 and 2? You must, bro, like from me to you, you know, Castlevania, like you must play Blasphemous if you have not. I got lost. Well, just look up a guide, you know? But I mean, I don't know what you're doing these days as far as like working and stuff, but if you have the time for games, Blasphemous is just such a fucking sick game. It's so worth it, bro. That's actually like one of my all-time favorite games. Salt and Sanctuary was okay, you know. I thought that it was, I don't know, that one was not my favorite, but it was all right. to set these to never re-trigger, so that way they just go on their own. There we go. We'll try some pitch shifters here to see if we can get this to create some other interesting stuff. For pads, I think it just depends. Depends on if you want them to have a hard sound or not. If you want them to come in slowly, then like you, instead of asking that question, you should be like, what do I want to say with the instrument, you know? Oh, really? What do you play? You still play RPGs? Do you play Smash? Do you play Street Fighter? I don't play Tekken, but I do play Street Fighter. Just now realizing that all of these are bipolar. We need to set these to unipolar. I've been wanting to try out Guilty Gear, but I don't have it. Oh, Akuma, by far. I was really into Tekken 5, and then after Tekken 5, I was like, I'm good. I think what happened was they changed the moveset of Yoshimitsu too much that I was like, what the fuck is going on? More so my question is, how do the early and late release affect my sound? Unless it's just the speed of it. Yeah, that's all it is. There's nothing more to it. It's just, how long does it take to get the maximum sound? Wait, compression? Are we talking about envelopes or are we talking about compression? Ghost of Yotei in GTA 6. I'm glad all of you are gamers. That's good. Oh, so you're talking? Wait, you're talking about compression for pads? Okay, you should have said that. You want kind of a faster attack and a mid release for pads, because you want all of the notes to be the same amplitude. I still play some RPGs. I'm trying to remember what the last one that I played was. Well, I've been playing a lot of Elden Ring again lately, and that's kind of been taking up most of my time, but I don't think he's the only character. Doesn't Law have nunchucks? Most of the Golden Sun, Chrono Trigger. That's one game. So I've played Chrono Cross. I have not played Chrono Trigger, and I want to. I don't know why I haven't yet. I have it. What have I been playing a lot of lately? Corey and I have been playing through Cassette Beasts, which is kind of like Pokemon, which has been kind of cool. But let me see what other stuff I've been messing with lately. We did play through Dying Light together, Dying Light 1 and 2. Lies of P is really good. Blasphemous stuff. Gravity Circuit was good. I don't really game on the PC as much as I want, but I never see Law using nunchucks. Yeah, they're more sword characters in Tekken now. Yeah, there's also a dude that has like a spear, but on Steam, we've got some other stuff. I mean, I have a lot of gaming systems, so that's something to be considered, but let me see what other stuff I have in my library that I could recommend. If you're just coming in, we're taking a quick detour on looking at some of my game library. We'll get back to the music stuff here in a bit. Let me see. Where's my library? So, oh my God, I played way too much Dead Cells. Holy cow. Like, but I actually went through the whole thing and got like beat the game on like 5-star boss. Blasphemous. Crosscode is a really good Zelda-like game. That's a JRPG. And it's like 30 hours-ish. That one's really good. Final Fantasy Remake. I'm like halfway through this, I think. Lies of P. I haven't started this yet. Resident Evil 2 and 3 and 4. Rivals of Ether. It doesn't run that well. Sonic Mania. Yeah, this is some stuff that I have for PC that I could recommend. This is actually a really sick Metroidvania as well. Record of Lotus. It's really short, but the music on it is just chef's kiss. No pun intended. But yeah, a lot of these are really fun. Try ENA BBQ and visuals unlike any other. What is ENA BBQ? I'm almost afraid to look at that. Is that some kind of like hentai thing that is not safe for work? Nope, it's a real game. Okay. I was like, what is this? It sounds sus. Oh, this looks interesting. What is it, though? Explore characters in a new wild world. Is this like a walking simulator? Yeah, I'm down to try it out. Looks cool. Yeah, so there's that. I've also played through a lot of the Mario and Luigi games again lately. I don't know if you all have played any of those, but those are some of my all-time favorite games. The first one specifically is Mario and Luigi Superstar Saga is just awesome. I'm going to my pattern here. Wait, how do I get to pattern? Oh, here we go. There we go. Now I can create a slightly different type of thing here. See what we can do with this. It's really hard to explain. Get your opinion when you play it. Yeah. And down. Dude. Yeah, like, I know, it's insane. It's kind of funny, but it's also, like, hella insane. And you know what's also crazy is, like, the previews don't even have any censorship to them. Like, if you're a game streamer, never, ever, ever browse the Steam store while online. That's, like, the worst thing that you can do. Which is funny, but it's also not funny when... It's not funny when it happens to you. I'm gonna back off of the FM just a little bit. There we go. Sorry, checking on Doggo, making sure she's okay. There we go. Oh, gotcha. You know what I showed Corey the other day? Do you remember that video, Sonic Too Fast? Yeah, chili dogs. Most of the adult content is like whatever. A lot is like borderline. Oh, yeah. Yeah, I don't fuck with that. We don't do that. Ooh, now this is getting interesting. Yeah. We really love the terminal montage stuff. I might need to let her outside for a quick second. Yeah. So I'll let this play out for a little while and just kind of do our thing. I'm gonna take her outside to go to the restroom for a second, and then I'll bring her back in, and then I'll keep doing what I'm doing. But if anybody has any questions, or if anybody comes in, we just adopted her, so I don't trust her to let her chill around the house yet. So we're working on it, but I also want her to get used to just being with me, you know, and like hanging out with me in here. She goes outside probably 5 or 6 times a day. Like I took her out at like 2:30. So I'm gonna take her outside real fast and then bring her back up. But she gets a morning walk. She goes on, she gets let outside twice by me before Corey gets home. And then when Corey gets home, she goes on another big walk. And then, you know, depending on how she is or if she makes noises and stuff, I'll let her outside a couple more times. Like granular foliar layers, and it sounds sick as hell. Let's go. All right, so I'll be right back. If you don't mind, I'm going to take a quick break and let her out. Give me like 4 or 5 minutes. And if anybody comes in, just let them know that I'm letting the dog out. I'll be right back. Macro thing on a group? What? Let's go outside, baby. Now it's wrestle time. Okay. Hold on. Hold on. Sit. Stay. Down. Down. Stay. Stay. Bow. Okay. Let's go. Oh, shit. No, no, no. Oh, she's trying to pick it up. Okay. Thanks for waiting. It's everyone's favorite genre, artist for their music. What kind of music do you listen to? Spicy. Feeling quite studious. I listen to Chi. Chris Lake, Starcadian. I got some crunchy Foley running through two portals, two granulates, Suze, stab of vocoder, and pitch shift with two OTTs moving around at random. That's sick. And some Tame Impala. Granulated texture for days. Fem a sign into another sign with harmonics and then also some noise. Put a comb and a lot of reverb is my favorite kind of pads. Which is odd since they're Israel. Wait. Israel. What are you talking about? Australian happycore? Wait, did I miss something? Oh, infected mushroom. Okay. I've never heard of Usao and SERL, but I do know infected mushroom. They're OGs. No, I'm not gonna triangle choker. I could, but I'm not gonna do that. Listen to the entire Zawadi album by Kim Yun Law. Some nice vibey but minimal DMB stuff like. I look at look at how look at how happy she is. Look at how happy she is. Look at that. What have I been listening to lately? I'm listening to I'm listening to a lot of Macro Blank, but that's not even his music. Oh my gosh, my little heart is melting. I might even just like record this and use this as the My hair is thinning too, or that's part of getting old. It's longer than mine though. I did recently cut it. All right, back to what we were doing. The dark minimal stuff like vibey, but the production is minimal. Yeah, I don't know. I don't balding gang. I'm not balding. That's not quite it. But if I was, I'd probably the minute that I start to go bald, I'm just gonna cut it all off. If I go bald, I prefer not to go bald because I like having long hair. But if I do start balding, I'm going to just cut everything off. I got I'm blessed with good hair genes. Still got a full head of hair for now. Yeah, same. Like I have all my hair, but I've always had thin hair, and I'm not really sure if like it's just the climate out here or what. Oh yeah, full on assassin. Like I'm not gonna try to save it and like get a fucking cul-de-sac. No, no. If I'm starting to go bald, I'm just gonna go bald. I'm about to go bald to the walls. I always had hella thick hair, but my dad has receding temples like a madman. It's just a style, It stays on top. You just, cut out the sides anyways, and it looks all sick. Lots of people shave the side of their head anyways. Alright, I'm gonna give her a little bit of alone time. Do I want to make a DMX or 50 Cent beat? No, I don't. Not really. I can make a beat though. We can do some drum design. You trying to cradle to the grave? Jersey, you better not be in the kitchen. Let me see what she's doing real fast. I'm thinking probably like Kratos or some sick tattoo ism or something, or maybe I'll just tattoo a hairline like some people do. I'm just kidding. Oh, okay. She's just she's into her Kong toy right now. I love that she's into like toys and bones and all that because it means that like keeping her busy and stimulated is like going to hopefully brains on my skull and freak people out. Yeah, I feel that. Let's go polymer. Let's make a kick. She's so into it. Let's go glue compression. Let's go fuse compressor. And I'm gonna create another one of these. And then we're gonna focus on what are you doing, Jersey? Might have cooked this a little bit too hard. Why does this sound so quiet to me? It's because it is quiet. Let's add some texture. Jersey. Let's try a crystal plate. It's getting there. There we go. Needs more Darude Sandstorm. So part of it is from just the pitch of this. Part of it is from part of it is from some of the other stuff too. Oh, I was also playing. There we go. I was playing the wrong octave. I was like, what the fuck? Okay. I was like, why is this? She just wait. Let me see what she's chewing on. Yep, she's just chewing on her bone, being good. What do you want to say to the stream? Oh yeah, can you speak? Can you speak? Speak, speak, Jersey. Tell the world what's on your mind. He's like bones, food. Good girl. Mwah. I'm gonna feed her in about 10 minutes. But yeah, we'll make a little kicky kick. And then let's see what else we're doing. We're going to bring all this up, kind of like this, and then just let this fall. Here we go. Almost. It's still kind of quiet though. I also like I'm producing at like really low volumes right now, so that'll do. We can always make it better. Let's grab a snare. Yeah. Yeah, we can kind of do something like that. Let's get some hats in here. Sorry, just trying to find the right groove on this. We're just gonna grab this rack. Put it on this. There we go. Some stuff kind of like that. You can find some other textures in here. So, Will. Let's add some bit crushing. Is it even making any noise? Yeah, it's just really quiet. maybe not. Yeah, that's not doing anything. That's weird. Why? Why couldn't I read your mind? We'll do it this way instead. There we go. Cool. So now that we have a working thing, we can try out some of these pads and see if any of them are interesting. Oh shit, those were drums. I have a very messy like canvas workflow of like where I just throw all different kinds of sounds in here and like don't even organize them until I get the patterns and stuff ready and all that, but sick. Let's grab all of these. Let me check on the dog, see what she's doing. Give me one sec. What are you doing? Come over here. Come on. You land by the door? You guarding the door? Wait, where's your bone? Oh, big stretch. Where's your bone? What happened to the bone? Let's go get the bone. Sorry, guys. Give me one second. Sorry about that. So, hopefully kind of get used to hanging out in here for a bit. She's good, girl. She's good, puppy. Good puppy. Oh, no, you knocked over the camera. She said, fuck this. I'm not trying to get you to expose me anymore. Sick of this. Yeah, this is kind of cool. So we can kind of cut this up a little bit. So the main build that I've been successful at the most, because I've only beaten the DLC once, was it was a bleed build with the Knight's Claw, I think is what it's called. And It's because you can pretty much just like spam daggers that cause bleed over time, um, with like, and it also like hardly costs any FP, but that would be the main one. I've done some other builds, like a big bonk build. I've done a Rivers of Blood build. Right now, I'm trying out the oh my god, I took some screenshots, but the one that I'm doing right now is this one. Hold on one sec. Where are we at? So level 200 builds for strength, but it's for the. Why is it doing that? No, where is this? It's the. Oh, this was another one that I did, which I've had kind of mid success with this, which is the curved sword build, or the bandit curved sword. This is supposed to be like the best weapon in the game. I don't I don't think so. I've also realized that like there's not one weapon that will power you through the entire game. Like you kind of have to have a couple of different weapons that you getting on again and try that casting spell sword. Yeah, Sword of Night and Flame build is really good, but I wouldn't do it if you don't have the DLC because you need Rolana's thing. But what is that stupid fucking sword name? Um, EOK Dancing Blade. It's whatever unique skill. It's from this one. What is this weapon? The Marias Executioner sword. So I'm working on I'm trying a build like this and seeing how this is doing, but so far I haven't had very good luck. But yeah, that's kind of where I'm at. The sword that can cast spells as well, not the fire and night. I don't know what weapon that is. Is it Rolana's twin swords? Just trying to see if I can find a cool little hook with this, but I'm not really seeing or hearing anything that I really like. So we're gonna try some other stuff too, and just see if we can get some other texture in here. I bounced out a lot of different shit, so just try to see if we can find something that seems interesting. No, it's more of like trying to find a hook. Something kind of like this. We could just do like a single like boom as well. I don't know. I'm not really trying to make anything right now. I'm just kind of fucking around and being open-minded to stuff. And seeing what works. I still like I haven't really how do I want to say this? I haven't really been like sharp. Yeah, some kind of like this. Yeah, after finishing the EP, I'm trying to give myself a little bit of time to like not try to be super serious with beat making and stuff. So I've just been kind of fucking around and it's interesting. Hmm. Let's pull up a good old Robert. No, I'm not going to do a B section until I find an A section that I'm happy with. After Rolana, going outside to the left where you see the giant walking and surrounding. Oh, it's just a pickup? I didn't know that. Some of those are kind of cool. It's a cool sound. That is stupid. Yeah, cool. Is there anything that anybody else wants to see? I think that I'm going to feed the doggo. And I don't really have anything else that I want to do today other than kind of just mess around like this and make some stuff. If anybody's interested, I just put out a sample pack. It's pretty badass. Um, I've shown you my sidechain, remember? With this? With the note receiver? You have a kick and snare that you create a parallel chain with that sends off a note, and then you have a note receiver. Walk them through it real quick. Yeah, so on your kick channel and your snare channel, you have a click sender that just creates a MIDI clip, and then on your sidechain group, you have a replacer that is going to get or a note receiver that's going to the replacer. And then you just have a segments that serves as an LFO tool on the volume. And then you can adjust it to whatever speed you want. And then you kind of just have to listen to it for how long you want it to be. But it's basically an LFO tool within Bitwig. And that way you don't have to worry about any coloration to the sound. It's all clean. So it works out pretty well. I tend to like it quite a bit. But that's pretty much it. But yeah. Sorry today was a little bit slow. Like I said, it's going to be a little bit of an adjustment period with getting her integrated and trying to find my groove and the way that I like to do stuff. I think today went pretty well with her being super chill and her just kind of figuring out how to relax and stuff. But now that she's kind of getting acclimated, I might be able to leave her alone for a little bit longer, or also like leave the door open so that way she can kind of fuck around and hopefully not chew on stuff. That's the big thing, is I just don't want her to chew on things. But part of that is making sure that she's mentally stimulated. And giving her plenty of things to do, but she's pretty chill. So anyways, yeah, we're going to be kind of doing this for the next few weeks of just me messing around with sounds and making atmospheres and textures and all that. And when I feel ready, I'll start to work on my next, like, quote unquote, like big stuff again. Or maybe just get back to like beat writing and doing stuff that is more in my field. But it's been nice to kind of just fuck around. But anyway, thanks for coming in, everybody. I appreciate it. Much love to you. Have a great rest of your evening, and I will see you all on Wednesday. I might do a late night stream just on like a mobile. Corey and I are going to go to the Best Buy early pickup for the Switch 2. And so we might be hanging out in the car or something and just talking with chat and stuff, depending on what she wants to do. So stay tuned for that. That should be fun. It's not music related, but we're just kicking it and having fun, and I like being on stream. Aside from that, check out alchemy.com if you want to support the channel or support the doggo. Because yeah, she is an extra expense that both Corey and I have taken on. But I appreciate all the donations and stuff today. It means a lot. Thanks everybody. I'll check you in the next one. And yeah, go watch my latest videos. They will be relevant to you. I'll see you all later. Goodbye.